Hello everyone. Well, we've made it to the end of September. This is hands down my favourite month. It's been absolutely beautiful here. We've had golden skies, loads of flowers have been blooming. It's been absolutely gorgeous, really nice temperature. It also means it's been a year since I've been up on this current allotment. And for those of you that have been following the journey, you'll know that I'm now moving on to a new one. So this is probably my last week up here. So throughout the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a few jobs down on the new allotment to get that one ready. So I'll share that with you. Also been really busy with new seedlings, getting them ready for next spring. So I've been planting a lot of half-hardy, no, I lie. I've been planting a lot of hardy annual flowers. I've seen a lot of YouTube channels, they call them cool flowers in the US. So it's things that you can sow now over winter and they should be fine and get a really good head start for next spring. So I'll share those with you in a bit. Got some kind of mixed emotions about this being my last week up here because I've really enjoyed it. I've learned so much from trying, trial and error, seeing what's worked with this plot. Got a lot of good lessons I can take through to the next one. And I started this channel really, those of you that were here at the beginning might remember, my kids are at university. They're about 250 miles away and they're living in a middle of a city centre. They've got no balcony to their apartment. They're kind of cut off really from the natural world and they grew up in a little village. And so I started the diary because I wanted to share with them my journey, what I was doing here, the lessons that I was learning with them. When I was trying to teach them to iron before they went to university, they're like, don't bother mum, if we need to know, we'll look on YouTube. And so I thought, right, all my little gardening tips, mistakes, things I've learned, I'm going to stick them on YouTube so that the boys could, if they ever want to know about gardening in the future, they could look at these videos. Now, what I didn't expect was along the way, there's almost 500 people have joined our little community. So I didn't expect that and I've really enjoyed it. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the advice, tips, lovely comments and feedback. It's been really nice. And it really motivated me to get up here, do something else. So this allotment moved along at quite a pace because the YouTube thing actually turned into a really motivating factor. That said, in the spring, life got really hectic and busy, so I wasn't posting as often and it felt like pressure. But again, really nice, kind comments, especially Ali in Canada, my rusty garden, Ali the gardener. She gave me some lovely advice. She said, just post once a month. Don't worry about it, just post things once a month. And I've enjoyed that a lot more because at the end of the day, this is not about a YouTube channel. That's not what I set out to do. It's about just capturing all the memories of the little journey of developing my allotment. And so yeah, I'll keep posting once a month, I think. Anyway, it's enough of me rambling on. I'll show you what I've been doing this month. Yeah, let me know what I should do with all of these. If you've got a family favourite recipe, feel free to pass it on. So those of you that have been watching for a while have probably picked up that I am more about flowers than vegetables, and back in late spring I ordered some seeds from Floret Flower Farm in the US. they're now shipping them to the UK because they've got a beautiful breeding program of stunning zinnias, and I planted mine quite late. I was really hoping to save seed from them this year, but it's just been, you know, they've flowered far too late. But I've been away from the allotment for about a week, and I've come back and they've bloomed, and they are everything I hoped for. They're so pretty, so I'm going to just share those with you. So look at them, aren't they gorgeous? The blush colours are so pretty. They're kind of peachy. This one's got a pink kind of tone, and they've got all these beautiful little bits of lime green in. They are gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. This one's quite an orangey colour. Well, peach, being a bit harsh there, calling it orange. But they're just gorgeous, aren't they? I'm so happy that I didn't sow all the seeds that I had because they were really expensive for seeds. I've kept a lot and I'm going to grow those next year on the new plot. So I sowed most of these about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago at most, and I've got quite a nice mix. I've got some foxgloves, got cream foxgloves, I've got apricot foxgloves. In there is a rudbeckia, which is, which one? Oh no, that's my apricot foxgloves. In here we've got some Orlea. These are snapdragons. This year I've got Royal Bride and Apple Blossom. That one, yeah, that's Rudbeckia Cherry Brandy. This is Alchemilla mollis. I just, that was growing at the side of the road, so I hoiked a few pieces out and stuck them in a pot. They seem quite happy. I've got some apricot stocks. These are Sweet Williams. These are hollyhocks. There's a really gorgeous one growing in the lane behind the house, so I took a few seeds from that one. These are lupins from my neighbours, saved a few seeds. I think this one is calendula, Snow Princess. More calendula and some more Sweet Williams. So what I want to do today is this tray here and the Rudbeckia. I need to pop those on in a minute, give them a bit more space. I've also got quite a few more packs. I can't help myself. I just keep seeing gorgeous flowers I want to start off. So I bought a few more that I'm going to sow today. I've got these beautiful cornflowers. They're a really kind of deep burgundy colour. Some sweet peas, Kira Madeline. Cherry camel phlox. Rudbeckia Sahara. And this phlox Blushing Bride. So I'm going to sow those today. It says the phlox is half hardy, so I don't know. I won't sow all of them. I'll just sow a few in case they don't make it through the winter. The seeds that I've started off for next spring, they're all flowers at the moment, and I multi-sowed them into these 5 centimetres, which is 2 inches, little modules. And now what I've got to do is prick them all out and put them in their own little module, which is quite time consuming. And last year, just to try and avoid all of that and to cut down some of the plastic, I used this. I used my soil blocker, which I absolutely love using, and it's worked really well. But the snapdragons and foxgloves are such tiny seeds. I didn't really want to put them into that huge great soil block because you're still going to need to divide them up. So I have just got hold of this wonderful little mini soil blocker. So I'm going to use this going forward for all my new little seedlings because they make tiny little blocks. You pop your seed in and it's really good because they don't get root bound. Once the roots reach the outside of the soil block, they're kind of air pruned, I think it's called, and the little seedlings do really well, and you don't have to then transplant them on. You can either put them straight into the ground, or if you want to, you can transplant them into another bigger soil block. You get different sized dibbers on the bottom, so I do have a dibber that's the exact same size as one of these blocks, so I could pot them on essentially into another soil block if I wasn't putting them straight out into the garden. So I'm going to use this for the rest of the seeds, but for now I've got to do it the old school way, prick those out and put them into some new modules. Now I'm potting them onto a combination of compost, which is peat free, and I've bought some perlite and some grit, so it's mainly compost with just a few handfuls of the other two thrown in, just so there's a bit of air getting through. Now perlite can be really expensive to buy in the garden centre. I've bought bags which were, well, that's vermiculite, but this sort of sized bag, which is 10 litres, and it costs about £8 or £9. So I went online and you can buy 100 litre bags for about £30. So it's a huge difference. So that's my little mixture, and I'm just going to simply fill up my trays and then gently lift each little one out by a leaf and pop them into its new home. Back in the summer, I was lucky enough to spend an afternoon at Homemakers with Charles Dowding. He did a course on seed sowing and propagating, and watching him I realised I'd been far too gentle with my seedlings in the past. He was really ramming them down into the pots, so I've learned from that, and I'm trying to be a little bit firmer with my seedlings, not to be so nervous around them. So this little tray, well, it's not even half of it. It's literally half of one of these snapdragons. I've still got all of those to go, so I'm going to carry on and get those potted up. I think it's going to take me quite a long time to get the rest of these seedlings potted up, so lesson learned. I'm not going to be multi-sowing like that again. I'm going to be sticking with this, because once they're in here, you can either put them straight in the garden once they're a decent size, or you can quite simply lift that plug and plonk it into another soil block. You don't have to pick out, you don't have to potentially damage all the little roots. So I think this is definitely the way forward for me. Well, this is my final trip up to the allotment. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have this year. I will keep sharing videos of the new ones so that those of you who have an allotment or a garden can follow along with some of the things I'm doing, learn as I go. So for those of you that don't have a garden, I promise I will keep sharing all my little videos so you can enjoy this beautiful part of the world with me. Anyway, that's it for today. I will see you in October.